Welcome back.
Oh, sleepy boys.
It's Sleepy Girl.
I know, but like we're boys and she's a girl.
That's true.
So you know, we don't even know what's happening in this scene. It's so dark. We're looking up at that damn light again that Shion just loves looking at. She's obsessed with it. She's like, it's sad as she could. He's up in the air. He's in that light, and when I turn it on, it's like he's there with me. I'm pretty sure that was a thing in the anime, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway.
I never told the audience about the time that I tried to make this a 3-person show and get a girl in here just so that it wasn't like an absolute sausage
For this
fest.
show?
Yeah.
Who'd you try and get in?
I mean, you know them, but...
Probably shouldn't say it on air, I suppose. I don't remember
Otherwise,
who it was.
they'd be here.
Oh, actually, I think I know who it was. Because it was back when we were reading Mineko, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think I know who it was.
Many months and moons ago.
Well, anyway. So yeah, how'd that go?
Oh, well, it's still bored? The two of us.
I mean, yeah, but like... Anyway. You were like, I have the story about the time I tried to get a lady on the team and then...
Well,
what happened? What's the story?
Well, I didn't say I had a story, but the story was that I was like, hey... doing this show, you want to read along and have fun and do stupid voices, and they were like, yes, but I'm leaving the country, see you later.
Oh. So it was who I thought it was, at least. That's good. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Man.
Well, maybe in an alternate timeline.
Maybe.
They stayed, and we had many adventures.
If you've crossed into that alternate timeline, can you send us the footage so I can hear what we sound like in the alternate timeline?
I think we sound 1,000 times better. This with much more talent than us being on this show. But that's, you know what?
Not to mention actually having a woman do the voices for these female characters.
No! What? Have I told you, oh my god, have I told you that aside from my Higurashi play, which I will eventually talk about in good detail, my one other performance that was like great for me was when I was with this girl that I had a crush on, but that's beside the point. Point is, we were good friends. We were in a play together, it was great. Shush you! Not my first crush. This is in high school. I had many crushes before this and many after, but that's beside the point.
Wow. So glad we're finally getting close to your heart.
But yeah, anyway, the point is we were doing a Commedia dell'arte performance, and it was in pairs. And one of the things about Commedia dell'arte, I got like full marks for this, by the way, because they were like, you did such a crazy weird thing, and it was great, and you clearly understood the source material, etc., etc. But one of the things about Commedia dell'arte is that you define the character by the mask that they wear, not by who they are. And traditionally all the different characters, like Il Dottore, he has this like big red nose, and he sticks his chest out, and there's the Moneybags character, anyway, there's a whole bunch of characters. But one of the characters that stands out is the female character, and she doesn't get a mask. And so during the like creation of this play, we decided that we wanted to both play each of the characters once. So we both played Il Dottore, we both played the Moneybags, but like Peculiar or whatever. We both played El Capitano, and we also wanted the lady to be like the love interest. And I was like, well, I guess I'm playing a female character now. I guess that's a thing. And so for the one of the final scenes, I just walk out on stage because I don't have a mask. No one can tell what I'm supposed to be. So I just said, I'm a woman in the loudest voice I possibly could. And everyone fucking went ballistic. It was fantastic.
It's amazing.
It was, and that's when I realized my love of playing all the genders, every gender. Just let's go.
I mean, like...
it was great.
It's more that just, like, especially for Shion and Mion, like, it kind of works.
Yeah?
Sometimes...
Why are we bringing this back to Higurashi? Tell me.
It sometimes...
Oh, right. You mean the voice.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
It sometimes works with Mion because, you know, she's got the stern authority.
I mean, yeah, sure.
But, like...
He's a British man.
Ugh, just... Sometimes I'm listening back and I'm like, this scene has absolutely no emotional weight because of how fucking stupid I sound.
Dude, that's alright.
But that's also the bit, so it's okay.
Because it's the bit, and we're also learning how to voice act voices that we wouldn't normally be able to.
Because I can still only do, like, one properly pitched female voice.
Which one's that? Which one are you thinking of?
Sadako's, obviously.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Only one I can actually do up my register.
It's fair enough, and it's very good. It's one of your better voices, I think.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Unironically.
I mean, you've had time to practice that one. Anyway.
I've had to practice that one.
I mean, that's the fun thing. It's the fun part. It's like, I remember back in the good old days when I used to practice my voices in the shower. I still do sometimes.
I remember those days as well, because I'd wake up and hear it.
Yeah, it's great. I don't get to stay at your place as much, though, because we both have very busy lives, and I need to be at work in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And you also need to be at work at, like, 6 a.m. So that's fun.
Imagine having jobs.
Man, that'd suck.
Just think how gainfully unemployed we were when we started this show. Now look at us.
That was great. Those are the good times. That's not true. Be independent, people. Get a job. Be independent from your parents. Be the best you. and also read dumb weeb shit. Let's go.
It's the perfect recipe. I was too scared to sleep. If I went to sleep, I might not find Sadashikun there in the morning. So I kept talking to him until I passed out. I told him about what happened while he was missing.
Also, get a good sleep schedule. It's pretty important.
Yep, Shion really needs to get on that.
She does.
I told him that I realized how much I loved him after he went away.
Oh.
I'd searched for him looking into various different things.
Like voodoo.
I gathered underground information through Kasai and bargained for police information with Uishi. But I couldn't find any leads. A long time passed, but I kept thinking about it.
Dude, she's a regular Sherlock Holmes, or a Monsieur Vidocq. That criminal who had all the underworld contacts and liked to masquerade as the people, but also had police contacts. And he was the inspiration for Sherlock Holmes, among other things.
I was more thinking that she was a detective in spite of herself.
I suppose so. That way, I mean, she's not as funny as him.
I suppose so. Etc., etc. I told him all the small details from my daily life. The places I wanted to go with him. The things I wanted to do with him. The food I wanted to share with him. And I told him a lot of things. I was sitting up at first, but I got tired, so I lay down. But I got tired of moving my mouth too, so I started talking to him in my mind.
Easy.
It was the happiest night I'd ever had.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not okay.
No.
But
very
she's
much
enjoying
no.
herself. That's the main thing, really, that everyone's happy. Live the best you.
I agree. When I woke up, I didn't find Sadashikun by my side.
Oh.
I knew it somehow, I was afraid of it. That's why I didn't want to go to sleep. Also, is this just the other side of the room that Akasaka stayed in?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
I just wanted to double check that was in fact correct.
That's just what's happened here. He's moved out and she's moved in, and
I wouldn't even be mad if that was true. If, like, this was what happened to the hotel that
Yeah.
he stayed in when he was here.
I mean, if this was a play, they'd just reuse the set, right? So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I guess it was a play originally.
I mean, it wasn't. You know,
Not this part of the book.
well, not any part of the book. It's anyway.
Wasn't the bus stop a play?
Not that scene, no. It wasn't just that scene. Yeah, so to be clear, Bus Stop isn't like a part of this that he like wrote into Higurashi. Like, there is an arc that is just Hinamizawa Bus Stop, and Rushi like wrote it into a visual novel, and it's its own little mini story.
I know that.
Okay.
The point was
What
more
was your point?
that's where the story started.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we're on the same board with that. I thought you were arguing something completely different.
No, I definitely
it's
was
all
not.
good. It's all good.
At least I got to see him for one night. Just when I'd resigned myself to that. I felt Sadashikun's presence again. It wasn't a dream after all, I thanked God.
I thanked God. I thanked him.
Thanked Oyashiro-sama more
Thanked Jesus.
like. And so I began my strange life with Sadashikun. As promised, Sadashikun was always by my side. He couldn't laugh, mumble, or stroke my head. But he was always with me. Always right by my side. He disappeared sometimes, but he'd come back when I looked for him. It seemed that all I could hear was his footsteps. That's just the way it was. It was a bit sad, but I was still satisfied. His presence was really faint, so it was hard to sense him in a crowd. But he never left me. If he were tangible, I'd be taking his hand all the time so that he wouldn't be lost. In contrast, I could feel him very strongly in a quiet environment. Of course, I couldn't tell what his expressions were, because he was just a presence. But after I got used to it, I could tell what he was thinking. At first, I could only tell if he was laughing or not. Eventually, I started to feel his emotions more strongly. I could communicate with him normally. I was usually alone with him, though. I didn't want to go to school or hang out with my friends anymore, but Sadashikun got upset about that. He kept mumbling unhappily. Now that I knew he'd always be with me, I shouldn't just stay home all the time. I was sticking to my time alone with him, however, because I was scared that he might suddenly disappear again, and I wanted to make the most of the time I was sharing with him right now. I must have been worrying too excessively. Sadashikun will always be by my side. Yeah, that was his promise. He never breaks his promises.
What was his promise?
Never breaks his promises, Ben.
Sadashikun doesn't know.
I'm just thinking.
Don't worry.
It's a very dangerous thing for me to do.
Yeah.
I was fine because he was there. Of course, I couldn't tell anybody about him, not even Sis. I could try to explain it to them, but they'd never understand. But I was certain that he was with me, so I'd be alright. I never get fed up with life with him. He's really cute, you know. We always walk together, but when I stop, he always walks one extra step. It's so adorable. I love it.
I loved hearing you read that, please.
So fucking
He's so
funny.
adorable. I love it. He just keeps walking. He's like a little dog trying to run away from
Sounds
me.
like
He's
a
so
little kid
cute.
jumping up and down if you catch my cold.
But it's Kasai now. Shion-san, what are you going to do on Watanagishi this year?
Fucking kill someone.
Nah, I'll be fine.
I guess I'll have some fun at the festival. Maybe I'll tease Sis and her friends. I wanted to go to the festival with Satoshi-kun. I knew he liked to see me having fun with everybody. He might get jealous if I play with Kei-chan, but Satoshi-kun isn't very sensitive in that way. Satoshi-kun loved to see me and my friends have fun, so I should have a lot of fun for his sake. And I talk about the day with him later.
Oh, you're going to Hinamizawa? I can give you a ride if you want.
I'm taking my moped, so you don't have to.
Miss Independent. That won't do. Aren't you going to the family party afterwards? I can't let you drive under the influence.
He won't let me drive, but he's kind enough to let me drink. Alright, take me then.
Good. Let's leave before nightfall. I'll come pick up around that time.
It's a very specific time.
Yeah.
After Kasai left, I sensed that Satoshi-kun was excited about going to the festival. Watanagishi, huh? So it's been almost a year since you went away. Satoshi-kun seemed confused. I bet you're going all... right now, aren't you? Fucking slick that was. Slick operation. We laughed together.
Yes, we did.
That's right, we did. It's a good, fun time between friends.
Yay, between lovers.
Staring at the moon. How dare you?
Lovers. Satoshi-kun loved her, right? Wasn't that what was happening?
I don't know, Ben.
I don't think it was.
We're gonna need an answer arc for just that question alone.
I hope so.
I hope that it's just like one page too. It's just like we download the entire thing. It's got the startup screen. It's got the poem, and then it's just like yes or no.
Yeah, yes or no. And
And
the rest of the arc is what? Just like unused
Can you
fights?
imagine if
What?
after like 7 years of putting this out, people got Matsuri Bayashi and that's all it was?
It's yes or no. And you just got to pick one and that was it, yeah. That would be a very... It would be a Ryugushi thing to do, but like, oh god. I'd love that. People would be pissed.
It would be the kind of thing that would only be great like 10 years with hindsight.
Yes.
It'd be terrible as you
In
just...
the moment, no,
yeah.
they would crucify him.
It would be-
He would die. And then they'd find out that, like, actually, I have the real arc here and I was going to release it. I was just saying before, but he's already dead.
Wow. That sounds just like everyone's favorite author, George R.R. Martin.
Shout out to that boy. He's going to change the Game of Thrones story because of backlash to the show.
Yes, that's
Right?
exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, dude, here we go. I haven't even watched that shit. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
I've watched bits, but not
I haven't
enough
watched
to,
any of it.
not enough to have a relevant
I've
conversation.
literally just been watching people criticize the final season, I should say.
Basically-
to be like, battle tactics make no sense, and this makes no sense, and these characters, and it's been great to read about.
Basically, a bunch of the people in my department at work do not watch the show, so when we like write articles about it, I'm just like, fuck it, and I read all the spoilers and write about it,
Fair
pretending
enough.
like I know what's going on.
I could do that. Come on.
I often leave contradictions intentionally just to see if someone will call me out of them. So far, nobody has.
Not yet. Not yet. Really, the comment section hasn't been like, oh, we got you on this, and this character was related to that character doesn't have a penis.
It's not quite as insightful as our audience.
Oh.
So shout out to you, audience.
Shout out to the smart people.
And shout out to those of you who don't comment as well. It's not as though we hate you. I'm
It's true.
just having a go.
We love all of you.
Having a go at people that don't play along with my games of adding inherent contradictions to everything.
It's true. It's true. It's everyone except for me. I don't know what that means. You know what? The point is, good comment. If you don't, we still love you.
Welcome. Here's your net and a ball.
Oh no!
Great. Wow, these fish are so active. They look delicious. You can eat all this little. I can eat this little one raw right here. I don't understand.
I don't know who was that supposed to
I'm
be.
assuming this
that-
was a stand operator giving a net and ball to one of the kids that do the game.
I guess so.
And because Mion appeared on screen.
Was it one of the kids talking then? You know, I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out in a second.
Well, either it was Mion dishing tools out to the rest of the club, or the stand owner dishing out tools to Mion.
And she's like, "This is why you should play this game."
Yeah.
It's like that one bit that happened.
I guess.
I guess we'll find out when
If we don't find out,
Oh, wait, we have to find out because that was Ricky's like lead in. He was his hook of like,
All right.
what's happening here? Who fucking knows?
How many points are we putting on the line?
Well, did we get an answer to who was speaking there?
Yeah.
10 points, easy.
Okay, so 10 points if I'm right.
10 points if we get an answer. That's the bet. That's the safe bet. What do you mean?
So we get 10 points if Ryukishi tells us what's going on.
I thought that was what you wanted to bet on. What did you want to bet on? Which one? Because you put 2 theories forward.
Well, no. So I committed to one theory.
All right.
Listen, all right.
Reiterate.
If Ryukishi doesn't tell us what's going on,
yes,
we get 10 points.
What? No! He's gonna tell us!
If
oh my god.
Ryukishi tells us and we were wrong,
okay,
we get 10 points.
It's okay. Sounds
because
good.
it wasn't easy to tell back then.
Okay.
Alright. I'm clicking. Are you ready?
Don't just get points. Okay. I'm confused. Yes, go. It was me on saying the thing about the raw fish because it was like that one year when they were trying to sell the games.
So I got it right.
I don't know anymore. I know that I got it right. I don't remember.
What do you mean you got it right? You criticized me for getting it wrong.
I know I did. But that's what I always do. I criticize you for getting things wrong. Unfortunately, I've already forgotten what you said. Do we have points or not?
I'm gonna give us 4 points.
Okay.
And 1 point to Ryukishi
for confusion.
For your bullshit.
Dude, I'm just saying. You definitely got that wrong. I was right 100%. That's how it works.
It's not.
I'm always right. I'm always right and you're always wrong. That's how this show is, you know? Just get with the program.
I could just cut you from this show. I've got editing power here.
No!
What are you saying, Mion-san?
Me-chan? You eat goldfish? You should eat the one I gave you last year, too.
See, I was right. Why'd you even stop me?
Oh, God.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, she did.
Sis shook her head hard. She turned all red.
You just said it. You said they look delicious.
A dead man look.
I heard it too. Sis eats everything as long as it fits inside her mouth. Don't look at me like that when there's a line.
I didn't look at you. I looked at the screen.
I've had it with your
and the
attitude.
mic.
I've had it with your attitude.
Shion is just too lewd. Anyway, if it's really good, I'll try it once. Me. No, you can't. Rika-chan, you're going to get sick.
Wait a minute. Hey, you. How long have you been here, Shion?
Hi, K-chan, Sis and everyone else. Good evening.
I teleported here for my time machine.
Well, actually, she's just still invisible.
Oh, it's true.
When did you get here, Shion? I've been here since you were at the chow mein booth. I found you guys quickly since you were making so much noise. Hey, you're not in our club. Get lost. Oh, don't be mean, sis, right? K-chan? You're fine if I come with you guys, right? I took K-chan's arm and held it between my breasts. That sound effect.
Puff, puff.
There was already a sound effect.
I know, I just had to add it. We need more sound effects,
We
not
were
less.
going to have a ball.
A ball? Oh!
It's
Is this gonna flash through them? Okay,
just
there we
gonna
go.
just-
They're having so much fun. Do you remember that one time in Watanabe where we came here and we advertised the stalls? Wasn't that great?
Wow,
Now we're
did
here.
Ryukishi just actually imply an action without explicitly stating what happened?
Yes.
I'm so proud of him.
Yes, he did. Unless he's about to have it in the next.
Don't tempt him.
It's gonna happen.
What if he is?
From Japan?
You never
through
know.
the screen.
The internet's powerful these
I
days.
know it is.
I wouldn't be
It's
surprised.
terrifying.
Listen, Ryukishi's,
All those micro
Ryukishi's
bites.
probably tapped this room. He's got a mic somewhere.
He's got a wire.
up behind this
Are
painting.
you wearing a wire? Oh my god. Oh my god. He's playing so much.
I went around the booth with Sis and her friends. and joked around and laughed out loud. I teased K-chan and Sis too. K-chan was at the center of the group, so if I did something to him, it naturally involved everybody else. Looked like Satoshi-kun was having a hard time finding his own spot in the crowd.
Oh.
When I glanced at him in a quiet moment, he smiled and told me to have fun without worrying about him. If he were tangible, I'd pull his arm to join the crowd. It made me sad that I couldn't do that.
So interesting. The mindset of like, he's here, but he's just not tangible. Like, that's fine. Like, she's accepted that as fact. I find it interesting.
It's very peculiar.
It's great.
I bumped into somebody's shoulder. It was obviously my fault, so I apologized right
Whose
away.
shoulder was it?
As it turned out, it was somebody I knew. It was Satoshi.
Oh, it's Satoshi. It was two Satoshis.
Also, it just occurred to me that Shion was freaked out in Arc 2 by hearing footsteps. So, like, clearly she was not having the same sequence of reactions back then. Unless the footsteps are a different sound of the kid jumping on floorboards, which I'm not comfortable with this.
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
I'm very uncomfortable now, Ben.
Oh, now who's talking here?
Well, do you want to bank points on it?
No! God, no!
All right,
Every
cool.
time I do that, you manipulate my mind to say something stupid and then we don't get any points. That happens every time! Every time!
All right, cool.
There's no time!
Who do you think it is?
Oh, I'm gonna say Takano.
All right, cool. If it is Takano, we get 100 points.
100 points?
If it's not Takano, she gets 100 points.
Fuck you! Now it's on me!
Exactly, that's why I keep asking. Oh, looks like you're having fun. Good
Oh my god, I was Oh my god! 100 points!
I've never seen him so happy. It's like the real Renner just walked into the room or something.
Maybe she did. That's a secret. She's telling me all the answers.
If it
Oh
says,
my
if
god!
it says that Takano talks next, then you are wrong and this is actually Tomotaki.
Fuck you, no!
I'll be so happy. And I'll be losing points.
That's me, like, she on John. It's lovely to see you. No, impossible. He would never say the moon looks beautiful tonight. He never would. It's too fucking ominous.
The moon looks beautiful tonight, doesn't it?
Ah!
We did it.
I got points. I thought this is the point. This is the episode we went ham. I thought we went.
Oh, you're right. We fucked up.
Fuck the retake, the whole thing.
It's been forever, Takano-san. And you,
Nice to meet you. I am Tomitaki Flash. I heard you were Mion-chan's twin sister.
How is Keiichi the only person that doesn't know that?
Oh, he's a dummy.
Nice to meet you too, Tomitaki-san.
Flash.
Heard you were a great cameraman.
Oh my god.
Please take a picture of me someday.
I'll do it right now. I'm just an amateur dreaming of going professional.
Well, you're actually great, Jiro-san. You're good at many things.
Lord! Big Lord!
It wasn't until you said that.
It is! What are you talking about? It's clear what that was! Don't put this on me!
I just did. And the universe agrees. Even if the comments don't, the universe
Well,
does.
I can't fight it. I can't fight the universe.
Exactly.
I can't fight fate. That's impossible. No, I need to study more. I have no talent, so I have to put out a lot more effort to compensate.
Stop putting yourself down, Ben.
I just have to. It has to be done. I got 100 points. Now it's all downhill. It's all downhill from
Korea's
here.
just over at this point.
Dude, yes.
They must have been in a relationship.
I'll give you my package. The severance package. You get one of those. That's part of that contract, right?
Yeah, obviously. We have a contract for this.
Yeah.
You two look so happy together. Am I interrupting you?
Oh no, I appreciate your consideration, but you're not interrupting us at all. And you can call me Mio like before, not Takano-san.
It's a bit hard for me to call someone older than me by their first name. Oh, never mind. I smiled bashfully and Takano-san smiled back elegantly.
Haven't seen you in the library since... I wanted to talk to you more as a fellow researcher.
Well, when I feel like it.
What?
It's obviously...
But why is he calling you Shion-chan? That's weird. A fellow researcher. You would just say it too, Shion-chan.
What would he call her otherwise?
Just Shion... I don't know. I don't know, dude. It just feels weird. I mean, in the legend of this village,
Pause for effect. Tomitaki-san
Flash.
raised his eyebrows.
Flash. It's the sound effect they make when they raise.
Yeah, that's what this whole
Flash.
gag has been. It's just
Yeah.
every time he blinks.
Yeah,
like that
that's how
time that
he's
they added the
taking-
sound effect to the Ewoks.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I believe you.
I've definitely told you about it before.
I don't remember
They went
it.
back to Return of the Jedi.
I mean, I know that they
in the
replaced a bunch of
remaster.
shit. Yeah.
And they made the Ewoks blink, and they added a sound effect for every time they do. And the sound
That's
effect,
terrible.
the sound effect is like,
It's like a chipmunk.
it's disgusting.
It's amazing.
It's like a wet slapping.
It's like they were trying to ruin those movies.
How dare you? They're absolute masterpieces.
I don't
There's
think I've
nothing
even,
wrong with
I
them.
don't think I've even seen the originals, so I can't talk. I remember being very confused when I watched like the original of Star Wars, and it was like, Jabba used to be like a dude, like just some regular dude. That's insane. That's a thing.
I suppose it was.
Yeah. But it's okay because it led to that gag of Han Solo stepping on his tail. He goes, "Blah!"
It's so crazy to think
Yeah.
that you're such a big Star Wars fan and haven't
I
seen
know,
the
right?
originals.
Dude, I can't stomach them. They're so bad.
It was that point we never saw.
There
them
we go.
again.
That makes up for me making 100 points.
It's fine. Yeah, do we
I was
just
made
take,
an
do we
enemy
just
of the
take
internet.
points for that comment?
No! You can't take my points.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
As far as I knew, Takano-san's hobby wasn't exactly normal. On the surface, her research dealt with the cultural history of ancient Hinamizawa, but his main focus was the Wada Nagashi festival from ancient times, the cannibal banquet in which they captured and gutted a living sacrifice. Her research covered various stories surrounding that and other legends of cruelty. It was nothing if not gory. That was where her main interests lay. I didn't feel comfortable being called a fellow researcher, to be honest. Objectively speaking, her research notes were fun to read. You know, it just occurred to me that, like, you know, obviously she's employed by, like, the hospital, supposedly. But if she's, like, so interested in research, why is she not publishing it, Ben?
I don't know, dude.
It's almost like it's evidence.
She's trying to write a fucking paper or book or whatever she's doing, you know?
Nonsense.
She's got to finish it first.
Like
You can't put out like half-done research. It's silly.
Yes, you can. That's
No.
what the entire of academia is founded upon.
No, that's not true.
What would you know?
What I know, I'm not in academia.
That's right.
Hey,
He is indeed not a
academia.
macadamia.
1 and a 2 and a 3 macadamia. That's actually a thing. Actually, what are they called? It's something in Dot. The Animaniacs. They did a Macarena parody. It was Macadamia Nut. It's very good.
Link in the description.
Yes. Look forward to it.
It was then that I heard the loud booms of the taiko drums.
Oh!
The main event of the Wada Nagashi Festival, the dedication chance was about to start.
What?
I just committed to the mistake.
Excellent.
According to Takano-san's hypothesis, the part of the dance where the shrine maiden tears open a futon mat represents gutting a living victim.
That's fucked up.
It's starting. I should head over. Aren't you guys coming to see Rika-chama's
Yeah,
performance?
this is Shion, right? Shion. She's like, oh, let's go see the kid. Let's see her do the dance. It's gonna be great. Let's not get any altercations.
You telling me that I just gave away points to Ryukishi?
No. Did you? I hope not.
I can either
If
confirm...
I see that, if I look back at this
nor
video and I
deny.
see that point kind of go up, I'm dead. I'm done. I'm done with this playthrough.
Doing the old click to laugh thing.
Eh.
It's like a fucking wind-up doll. I just click and then they go... Tomotaki-san!
Flash!
Bewildered.
He's flashing.
Did that mean he wasn't coming?
What? Where could they be going if not to the festival's song?
I don't know.
It could be anywhere.
Takano-san giggled, then whispered in my ear. To tell you the truth,
What?
we're thinking of sneaking into the ritual storehouse.
What?
She made it sound like she was going to do something fun, but it wouldn't be amusing to anyone who knew what the ritual storehouse was.
Yeah, it would.
Why wouldn't it? It sounds like a lot of fun. I love
Yeah,
torture
it's
implements.
curses and torture implements and cannibalism. Dude, that sounds like a party.
I'm really concerned that this is about to be a
And heavy
massive
metal.
2-hour-long one.
It might
If
be.
this is the one where they go into the shrine.
I guess we'll just have to find out. Maybe we'll just skip anything that we've previously seen. That'd be handy.
The ritual storehouse, or the storehouse for ritual implements, and sort of a treasure house belonging to the Furude Shrine. I'd heard that Oyashiro-sama's sacred treasures were stored in there. Only people from the Furude family and selected members of the other 3 families are allowed to enter. They believe that if other people enter, the place will be desecrated.
No.
Everybody in Hinamizawa must have been curious about what was in there when they were kids. But the storehouse was always tightly locked. You couldn't just peek into it either. Kids would get chided if they played around it, so they'd learn to stay away. Or if you fucking Sadako, just going through the roof
What?
like the bandit you are.
Why did they not seal up the roof?
Well, it was the air window, you remember?
Oh, you're right. It was the air window.
Why
Why didn't they seal up the air window?
Well, because then it wouldn't be an air window. It'd just be a window.
Put bars over it or something. I'm just saying. There's better ways to have an air window than for a small child to be able to roll through it. And just break everything. I'm just saying.
Maybe Sadako just has a shrink ray.
Maybe that's it. My shrink ray. That's not true. It's not my shrink ray. It's my freeze ray.
I didn't like being around it myself since I was familiar with all that. Even though I didn't believe in the curse, I still didn't want to be near it. Nothing good can come from breaking the rules. Are they still going to enter the ritual storehouse despite all that? Pretty sure it's tightly locked. It was, until last year. Rika-chan had the heavy bolt changed to a cheap padlock, because the bolt was too heavy for her to lift. Did you know that?
Get wrecked.
No. But even if it's cheap, it's still locked, isn't it? Nah, Takano seems like the kind of person who watches lockpicking tutorials on YouTube.
That makes sense to me. That's what you do, right?
Do I?
I don't know.
Where did you get that impression?
I feel like you've showed me some before. That's what I feel like. I feel like in another life, you've been like, hey, lockpicking.
Are you telling me that you're the Ben from the alternate universe that we were talking about earlier?
Oh, no. I'm not from the 40k universe. Don't you mind me.
Your clothes are far too intact to be from the 40k universe.
That's true.
Besides,
I did buy
Jurascan is
shorts.
very skilled. Oh, you're good at lockpicking.
Once the Watanagashi ritual starts, everybody will gather around the stage, right? And the area around the storehouse will be completely devoid of people. Tonight, this place will be a blind spot. Can't see the forest for the trees, I suppose.
Rats! Fucking got him!
According to her hypothesis, the ancient tools used for human dissection and torture would be found in the ritual storehouse.
Why don't you join us in a bit? It's now or never. So maybe I'll see you then.
Takano-san, what are you telling her?
Oh, just girl talk. Let's go some dark place for a quick date.
Huh?
Stop making me click to
Okay.
laugh, Ryukishi.
So we go, and then they go off for a quick date.
Takano-san walked against the flow of the crowd alongside Tomitaki-san.
Flash.
The ritual storehouse, huh? Supposedly filled with torture tools. Considering what they had in the underground torture room at the Sondazaki house, that's quite possible. Sadashi-kun fell victim to the curse in the 4th year. His aunt's death was the sign of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Sadashi-kun was the sacrifice to pacify Oyashiro-sama's anger. That was what Takano-san said last year. It was just her hypothesis. At present, I wanted to deny her hypothesis because I wanted to believe that Sadashi-kun was still alive. If her hypothesis was correct, either some religious fanatic or somebody from the 3 families must be imitating the curse in order to revive the ancient custom of Onigafuchi. That would mean that it was them who killed Sadashi-kun.
Let's go investigate.
If her hypothesis was correct. So what if the ritual storehouse was filled with garbage instead of torture implements? Maybe it was filled with broken palanquins or freshly painted signboards for the festival. What then? It wasn't really hard for me to believe that it was filled with the chemical smell of paint. Maybe I'll get to deny the hypothesis that Sadashi-kun was sacrificed by seeing the inside of the ritual storehouse for myself. Whatever was in there didn't mean that Sadashi-kun would come back. Dots.
Like 7 or 8 dots.
What should I do, Sadashi-kun? Since most people went to see Rikachama's ritual dance, the festival grounds were deadly quiet. Even so, I couldn't sense Sadashi-kun. Did he go somewhere? Was I not paying enough attention? Maybe he wasn't feeling any emotions in particular. After thinking for a while, I decided to go with them. It had been almost a year since Sadashi-kun's disappearance. I'd been avoiding the truth because I was afraid he might be dead. But now I had a chance. I had a chance to see the inside of the ritual storehouse. I felt as though something divine had arranged that coincidence. On my way to the storehouse, I noticed Keiichi. He was jumping up and down, trying to see Rikachama's dedication dance over people's shoulders.
God, what a nerd.
If I took him along, we could split the guilt. Is that how that works? I don't think that's how that works.
That's what she thinks.
That's...
Apparently.
Oyashiro-sama might put a curse on me for entering his divine storehouse. I wanted a partner in crime. You've already got 2!
She wants a 4th. Okay? She wants someone about her age that she could be like, yo, take him instead.
This is just silly.
Nah, it makes sense to me.
Since the boy I loved disappeared last year because of the curse, maybe Mion's love should disappear this year.
There you go. There's the justification. Scorn woman. Don't wrong them and stuff. And don't be goofy around them either. They hate that.
It's fucking so stupid. I love it.
This is
like-
how Rukushi shoehorns in the Watanagashi narrative. That's how it works.
Is this... this doesn't feel necessarily shoehorned, but I really felt like it could go without saying.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we didn't need that line.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Oh, what am I thinking? It must have been the demon inside me. I shook the thought out of my head.
Ah, what's going on, Shion? Where's the best place to see Riki-chan's dance from? Is it far?
Huh? Never said I was going to show you that. We made it to the ritual storehouse. Keiichi was baffled by the whole situation. Our timing had been perfect. I could see Tomitaki-san
Flash.
picking the lock.
Flash.
Big spooky.
Big spooky moon.
Was that a sound effect for the lock being picked? Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's how much the budget is improved.
It's like the door being opened.
Even though Keiichi must have been curious, he insisted that we shouldn't go in. But I talked him into it anyway. He was quick to change his mind when Tomitaki-san joined him.
It was completely dark inside, so Takano-san lit a battery-powered lantern. A small entry space appeared before us.
It's so dark in there, or in here. Take care not to trip over anything.
I appreciate the concern. Okay, doorman, keep a good watch. We're shutting the door now. Takano-san closed the door with a smile as if leaving Tomitaki-san out on purpose.
Alright, then I'll just sit outside of the scene and not say anything. Man, alright, everyone have fun.
As soon as the heavy door was closed, we were surrounded by a quiet darkness. All we could rely on was Takano-san's lantern. It'll be fine. It's an outdoor lantern with backup batteries inside. It won't go out or anything. Takano-san teased Keiichi a little. Keiichi in turn looked a little pale. He seemed to be able to recognize the sanctity of the building even though he wasn't from Hinamizawa. Let's go in. Here we go. And there. After Takano-san opened the heavy inner door, a dusty, foul smell flowed out. It was like the smell of a pantry that hadn't been opened in years and the smell of a fish market mixed together. Didn't know exactly how to describe it, but it was a bad smell. I do remember way back when I was considering that the fishy smell might be like...
Fish in the water?
No, it might be something to do with like the madness if it was like a chemical thing. Because it seemed to like appear each arc before whoever it was went mad.
Right.
It's like in Arc 1, Keiichi like swallowed some fucking fish water at the festival. In
Right, I
Arc 2,
do remember
we
that.
had this scene. Arc 3, I don't remember.
I don't know if there was any fish in Arc 3.
Yeah, I think Arc 3 it might have been when I gave up on that theory because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But maybe there was one and it was Arc 4.
Maybe
I don't remember.
Maybe there's a crack theory or a fish theory out there for you.
Maybe there is. Send it through to me.
Let him take a look at it. He'll grade it.
I will.
Fish out of fish.
I'll give it an A- because nothing can be as good as me.
That's fucked up, dude. I think your ego might be getting out of check there on this internet show.
Nah,
you tone it down.
Nah.
The kids, they don't like it. They don't think it's funny. It's unhealthy. You let go of Satoshi-kun.
Well, yeah, but things being unhealthy is funny. That's why we enjoy this comedy, Higurashi, so much.
It's true. Dude, little kids killing each other is great. It's so much
hilarious.
fun. Oh, boy. I love it. I'm certainly not emotionally traumatized.
It's true. After every episode, Ben's just curled up in a ball in the corner crying to himself.
We've never gone quite that far, although I did come close to Nikikushi, but that's beside the point.
Is it? I
Yeah.
feel like that's exactly the point.
No.
From listening to the echo of our footsteps, I could tell this room was much bigger than the other one we were just in. When Takano-san raised her lantern, I could clearly see just how big it was. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
At the far side of the wall, there was a statue of some kind of god staring down at us intruders. The way it was lit by the lantern gave it a powerful appearance, and it scared me.
Which god would it be?
That's the guardian god of Hinamizawa. Tomitaki Flash.
Flash! Oh, no.
Oh, Yashiro-sama.
Oh.
I looked up at the statue, which was holding its religious ornaments. If Satoshi-kun's disappearance was really a curse, I couldn't forgive this god. I found myself irritated by the way the statue looked down at me. Damn you, Yashiro-sama. If you really made Satoshi-kun disappear, I'll never forgive you. Never.
I wouldn't forgive it.
Keiichi didn't seem to understand the significance of the storehouse. He looked bored. Takano-san noticed that and took out her scrapbooks to show him the brutal history of ancient Hinamizawa. I'd heard that story already, so I decided to walk around by myself.
Thank God.
Since I knew the significance of all these tools, I felt a little nauseated. Though they certainly wouldn't jump out to me, I still found them intimidating. They looked as if they were craving for fresh blood after not having been used in hundreds of years. I just want to let this music play up a little louder.
It's good.
Nice and creepy.
It's the, like, knife slicing through the air. That's what I want. Shoo! With that.
All the tools looked similar to the ones I saw in the underground torture room at the Sonozaki main house. If those tools were the progenies of torture implements, these would be their ancestors. All the implements here looked old. I doubted they could really be used. They weren't kept maintained like the ones at the Sonozaki house. So did that mean they shouldn't scare me? No, on the contrary. They told me that cruel rituals were indeed performed in this village at one point. Now that I found scary. What Takano-san told me was the truth. When I stopped, Satoshi-kun also stopped behind me one step later. I felt no emotional change in Satoshi-kun. I couldn't tell if he was feeling something or not. I knew he was there, but I had no idea how he was feeling. I felt scared of him for the first time. If he could answer me, I'd want to ask him. Who demoned you away? Are you listening, Satoshi-kun? I couldn't tell if he heard me or not. He left as if he didn't hear anything. I could tell that he'd been sulky ever since we got here. I suddenly felt lonely, so I looked for him while walking around. I realized then that there was an altar in front of the statue. He might be there. It was a clean altar. An altar ornamented with religious artifacts. It was kept well maintained. I saw no dust. That would mean, well, the flowers in the vase weren't wilting. I saw a pretty handkerchief under the vase. It looked out of place amongst everything else. I was fairly certain it was Rika Furude's handkerchief. That would mean that this storehouse is maintained daily. This wasn't a forgotten ruin buried in dust. So the brutality that dwelled in this ritual storehouse is still alive and well in Hinamizawa. That's right. Something as ambiguous as Oyashiro-sama's curse is nothing more than a simple delusion of the villagers. As Takano-san said, everything that happens in this world is done by humans. I'd accused Oyashiro-sama of demoning away Satoshi-kun. But Oyashiro-sama is just a statue made of bronze or wood. It's nothing but an icon. There are, however, human beings who would try to make that icon seem real. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa is the result of human action. It shouldn't be called Oyashiro-sama's curse. If Satoshi-kun was the fourth year's victim, then he was victimized by a human being who was just acting the part of the curse. The person who demoned away Satoshi-kun must not be very far from me. We just take a moment to admire this line.
It's Casey, shit!
Just breathe it in. Just breathe it in.
Boy, I'm very suspicious of Casey right now.
I am too.
Watch out for that kid. He's gonna get you.
I will.
He's got a bat.
I mean, he has killed 2 people.
He has Satoshi.
3 people, in fact. He's killed 3 whole people.
Many people.
In fact, no, he killed the whole village, according to himself.
He did. He's a mass murderer.
Fucking psychopath.
Put him on trial for his crimes.
The truth behind Satoshi-kun's disappearance was not so very far from my grasp. I swear if she fucking touches Takano within the next few pages, I'm gonna be so happy.
Thump.
I was startled by the sound. It sounded like somebody had dropped something.
What?
I looked over at Takano-san and Keiichi.
Keiichi's bumbling around.
Takano-san was still lecturing him. Did she drop her scrapbook or something?
Thump, thump, thump.
The sound came from right behind me, not from them. I never heard Satoshi-kun do that. It sounded like somebody was stomping on the floor in frustration. What is it? I want a sound effect here.
Thump,
Stop.
thump,
I
thump.
wanted to know what a kid jumping on floorboards sounded like that made it so distinct that 2 people could hear it at once.
Kinda like that. They all...
Listen, I could make the sound if I tried, but I wanted to know what Ryukishi thought it was.
I know. It sounds like a thump. Although in Japanese, it's not a thump. It's some other sound. Like, they wouldn't use that word.
Clearly.
You know.
The sound continued, ignoring my
It's
question.
like how cats go nya instead of meow.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It's the true thing.
Though I heard it nearby, it sounded as though a child was hopping on a wooden floor somewhere distant.
And dogs go 1-1.
What's wrong, Satoshi-kun? Are you angry about something?
1-1.
I couldn't read his expressions. I thought he was mad, but I didn't sense any emotion from him at all. Was he mad that I touched the altar? Maybe you weren't supposed to do that.
Thump, thump, thump.
It's not that I'd been able to communicate with Satoshi-kun in a concrete way. I just talked to him. I was never expecting him to react like that. I didn't sense a willingness to communicate from this creepy sound, and a chill ran up my spine. I felt as if all my pores were opening. I'd been thinking that it was Satoshi-kun stomping on the floor. Hey, you. You're Satoshi-kun, aren't you? The sound stopped when I asked that. It wasn't a yes or no, just silence. Satoshi-kun wouldn't scare me like that.
I realized suddenly that the sound hadn't come from Satoshi-kun. A cold shiver shot through my feet and I sprung a step backwards. The sound had come from right there. Even though I jumped back, it was still just a few meters away. Satoshi-kun would sometimes let me hear his footsteps when I walked. But if that wasn't Satoshi-kun, then there was no guarantee I'd hear his footsteps. So that invisible being could already be right in front of my eyes. I just wouldn't see it. I forgot everything and ran, straining my ears as much as possible for any sound, listening for any footsteps pursuing me. I ran right into Keiichi and clung to him timidly, turning back to look. The dimly lit area before the altar was quiet, like nothing was happening. But seeing that chilling, dark stillness, realizing I was just in that space, made me even more frightened now.
Oh, what's up, Shion? Did you get scared?
Keiichi made fun of me.
Lol.
Even though he'd looked horrified just a little while ago, he now looked satisfied to see me scared too.
I know girls tend to get freaked out by haunted houses. Well, I don't mind it. Anyway, let's go, before Takano-san leaves us behind.
I pretended to be fine, but I wasn't sure if I was able to hide my fear entirely. The footsteps were chasing me. They were outside the illumination of the lantern as if they couldn't go into the light. The presence never left us, however. It followed us like a fourth member of the party. Sometimes it made a stomping sound as if wanting some recognition, but neither Takano-san nor Keiichi seemed to notice it. It was possible for Takano-san to be ignoring it, but Keiichi would never ignore it. If he could hear it, he would have said something. Just like with Satoshi-kun, only I could hear it. What was this thing that was making me so scared? Was it Satoshi-kun in a bad mood? Was it possible that the presence I believed to be Satoshi-kun might not have been him at all?
Thump, thump.
Getting these real dramatic flashes. What are you upset about, Satoshi-kun? Tell me if I did something wrong, I'll apologize.
Thump, thump! Thump!
Is this fucking Morse code right now? If you want Satoshi-kun, then where did he go? When did you take his place?
Thump, thump, thump! Oh boy.
Shion, are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. You look pale, though.
Then I'd appreciate if you didn't stretch my clothes too much.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, am I interrupting you two?
Am I?
I decided to engage in the conversation to help myself ignore the sound from behind. I didn't hear the sound as much and it became a bit more distant. Yeah, I shouldn't pay attention to it. It wouldn't bother me if I didn't hear it. So I should just ignore the noise. Takano-san, you're researching whether those customs survived into the present. You are, right?
Thump, thump.
What I'm about to tell you is a secret, alright? I told you, Shion-chan, because you're an understanding person, but the other villagers don't want to hear it. If things go awry, I could be ganged upon and punished.
She smiled at me like a witch.
Thump, thump.
Maibara, can you keep it a secret too, okay? If this gets out, I could suffer Oyashiro-sama's curse, or be made into a sacrifice. If it's the curse, then I wonder what kind of death it'll be this year. If it's the sacrifice, then will I be thrown into the Onigafuchi swamp while still alive? And it is tonight, you know, the night of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
It certainly is. If the curse strikes for a fifth time, it'll happen tonight.
Thump, thump, thump.
Wow, did you hear those sound effects?
This is a good sound effect.
So
We don't even have to read this line.
Takano-san pulled out an old scrapbook from her paper bag and started turning the pages. She opened it to the page with that one article. It was the article about the brutal murder of a Watanagashi victim. It happened in the Meiji era.
This is a story that actually happened. They discovered an unknown mangled corpse, the victim of a murder in Onigafuchi village.
Thump, 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 thump.
Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity.
Thump, thump, thump.
Hey, you guys seriously don't hear that? It's freaking loud, how can you not hear it? Ah, hell, it's freaking noisy, cut it out already.
And the next moment, we all heard that sound effect.
Ah!
We turned around in surprise.
Such horror.
It was just Tomotagi's sound opening
Flesh.
the door.
It was the boy. Oh, did I startle you?
Yes.
I got you, didn't I, you ragamuffins?
Oh, Joe-san, could you not resist seeing inside? This is a splendid treasure trove of torture devices.
I'll pass on that. I'm bad with this sort of thing by nature.
Takano-san laughed, as if making fun of Tomotaki-san for
Flash.
being such a scaredy cat.
Flash. In any case, the dance and ceremony over and everyone's going down to the river. The festival as a whole will be over within minutes.
Time was up. I never expected that Tomotaki-san would
Flash.
save me from this nightmare. His face suddenly looked heroic.
Ha!
Suddenly, I mean, have you seen the guy? Look at that
Oh, he's a
jawline.
fucking boy! I love him. It's one of the four kings.
Why are there 2 quotation marks at the end of this? I'm
I
suspicious.
don't know!
Okay, Chikuni, you leaving too?
A woo?
I've seen enough. Shion, you're good to go, right? Let's get out of here. I want some fresh air.
I agree, let's leave. I went to the entry room and turned around. Takano-san was taking photos in a mad rush, though our time was up. I didn't hear that sound anymore. I didn't feel that presence. I didn't feel Sadashi-kun either. But I somehow wasn't too sad about that. Even if he followed me out of here, I wouldn't be able to tell if it was really him or somebody else.
There you go.
There we do. Is that the end?
It's gotta be it.
the end.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was
my
that long
goodness.
pause. It had to be the end. It wasn't even 2 hours long. It was like 1 hour.
What happened to all of the hours of exposition from
Oh,
Takano?
thank God it was gone. As much as I love Takano, as much of a nerd as she is, thank God. Thank Higurashi.
Thank godness.
Thank Oishiro-sama.
Defilers.
What?
Achievement
Don't
get.
defile things. That's bad.
Let's get these tips.
You're sinning. You're gonna get punished for that. That's what happens. Oh.
I mean, I know it's probably Shion, but I
Oh,
can't.
when we take it?
Yep.
That underground torture room is officially called the Underground Ritual Storehouse.
Why is that?
Let's find out. So, do torture room and ritual storehouse mean the same thing?
Probably.
According to Takano-san's theory, bloody rituals, including Watanagishi, have been passed down among the 3 families even after the Meiji era.
How suspicious.
The rituals are always ready to be performed. Their form of worship always revolved around torture, so Hinamizawa's history involved a great deal of human slaughter. Takano-san's theory is correct.
Wow.
The underground storehouse at the Sonozaki house looked well maintained. Takano-san is right about that too. Since the Sonozaki family and the Furude family both have ritual storehouses, the Kimiyoshi family must have one as well. Or
That
2.
sounds fun. Where is it and when do we visit?
They must all have one. After all, these ancient and brutal customs are still handed down through the generations. I should remain armed with the knowledge that occult events are still secretly being performed in this cursed village.
Very dramatic.
That was my Darkest Dungeon voice, by the way. That guy who,
I'm
narrates
glad.
everything. I'm having a good old time. It really hurts my throat, though. It's fine.
I can take over if it's killing.
No! I'm committing to it. I had to suffer 1,000 times more than you did, or else I'll never be clean.
I see.
The sanctity of the ritual storehouse is one of the most prominent elements in the worship of Oishiro-sama. Of course, I knew that since I'm originally from Hinamizawa, but violating that sanctity is actually a more serious problem than I thought. Takano-san's research shows that the history of the ritual storehouse goes way back. Like way fucking back. The ritual implements within have long been viewed as inviolable objects, which is why it was strictly forbidden to enter. Takano-san's theory says that Watanagishi was once a public execution, performed to stabilize the reign of the 3 families rather than a purely religious ritual. If so, the ritual should hardly be called sacred. Under those circumstances, the implements should have been despised as symbols of hatred and fear. When instruments of fear are too visible, it only creates a reign of terror, but keep them as hidden as possible and they gain divinity. Many said they would become tainted if the layman touched them. The only reason for that was to preserve their false prestige through secrecy, since they would lose their sanctity if revealed before the common folk. In other words, the true identity of the ritual storehouse sacredness was fear. That was the true emotion ruling over this village.
These are very dramatic.
That's why I chose this voice. Let's fucking go. And we can talk about them and how you feel about them and how cheesy they are. The reason why Takano-san and Tomitake, Flash Sand were cursed is because they broke into the ritual storehouse. I don't know how the villagers found out about it. Maybe somebody was watching. Maybe there was an anti-theft alarm. Either way, our intrusion must have been reported to the highest level of the curse system. CS for short.
I do love
Sonozaki brand.
I do love that it's like creepy. It's like maybe somebody was watching, or maybe it was just a fucking alarm.
It was the alarm. It was the curse system alarm. They got us. It's great.
Must have been reported at the highest level of the curse system.
The curse system. The CS.
I love this.
Oh, there's like a robot somewhere. It's called
like,
CS, and it's the curse system.
It's like Shion doesn't suspect that Takano is behind everything.
Yeah,
it's like
she's a good girl.
It's like Shion hasn't even been
we
reading
know
the story.
From reading the story that Shion and Takano and Tomitake and every character, they're all good people. That's all we got. That's all we got to know. They could never do wrong. You know, even Keiichi is a good boy too. Incapable of murder.
That is untrue.
That's because, considering the distance between the village and the site where Takano-san's body was found, she must have been killed right after we came out of the ritual storehouse. It was done very quickly. It's possible that a special assassination team exists for this purpose, or that the plan had been set up a long time ago.
Or both of these things are true and it still wasn't Takano's body.
Oh, that's insane. They might have been secret agents of the Sonozaki family, but the latter sounds more valid. Wait, the latter of what?
The latter of what?
There was
the assassination team, and then the Sonozaki family, but you said, but, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Learn to count.
But if so, who would have been the victim if nobody broke into the ritual storehouse?
Probably Keiichi.
Could have been anyone. It could even be you! Or me! Because we're ruled by fear and we suspect everyone and know nothing is true. Except that everything is permitted. Because we're the assassino. And then I jump out the window. Put a smash sound effect there. How you doing?
I'm going well. I was just trying to picture which character in this story I'd have Michael Fassbender play.
Which one would you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm still thinking about it. I mean, like, probably Tomitake, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, he's a bit too lean to be Oishi. He's a bit too mature to be Keiichi.
I mean, we could put a fast suit or something to play Oishi. Yeah,
maybe he could be Mion and Shion's dad.
Yeah, sure. That character who is so very well known in this franchise.
Well, yeah, but it's the kind of guy that if you got Michael Fassbender to play...
They make him a bigger part.
Exactly.
Well, actually, it's not the 5 demons, the 6 demons, and Michael Fassbender walks out and he's like, I'm gonna sell you this takoyaki stand. And then I don't know if Michael Fassbender bit. You probably know better than I do.
I really don't.
Good. I'm glad that you decided to do a bit about an actor that we both know nothing about.
Well, I mean, I know that he was in the Assassin's Creed movie, which is what you were tangenting about.
I see. Well, I haven't seen the movie, so I wouldn't know either.
Listen, as bad as that movie was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. He played the main character.
Okay, I thought so. He played...
No, he wasn't one of the... It
wasn't Desmond.
It was
some
original
other
thing.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I just play the games. Assassin's Creed 2 was pretty good. Next time...